It's World Mental Health Day this Saturday. We're here to speak to you about how you sadly lost your dad in 2017 and how sudden it was, and it was just really out of the blue. How can you tell us sort of like what happened and how you managed to you found out, and because obviously it was so unexpected, obviously.
Yeah, it was pretty. We're all very shocked.
Mm.
It's hard to think back then, like with it all. It's hard to remember things like that happened, how we how we felt and stuff. But everyone was pretty shocked, and I it took me a while to like process it all. Um, but we were all very like sad because it was um it was so sudden and we didn't expect it at all. So it was difficult in that way.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I've been so fortunate in my life not to have lost any immediate family members, so I can't even begin to imagine how you must have felt. I mean, I lost a coach once. That was random. I was on a flight to Iceland, and I got off the flight, turned on my phone, and people were texting me going, "Oh, how do you feel? Are you okay?" The media guys at the club I was at were like, "Look, can you send us a almost like a eulogy, like your thoughts and your like on what happened and stuff?" And it was like, "Hang on a minute, I haven't even processed what's gone on here. I need to find out what's going on." And again, I was obviously a different country away from everyone. I hadn't got a clue, but I can't even imagine losing a close family member. So yeah, it's obviously so sudden that, and to try and deal with it. I mean, you're the eldest, aren't you? Have you got a
Yeah,
younger brother?
I have a younger brother who's 14. He's 20 months younger than me.
Yeah, so like you must have had to try and help him process it as well as you process it, and that must have been really difficult.
Yeah. Uh, we don't, as a family, we don't talk about it too much. Um, Around the time we sort of just tried to take each other's mind off it, like we go and play football in the garden or something. But it was better to do like activities or something, just something to take your mind off everything. And still now we don't really talk that much about it all, in case it like upsets anyone or triggers anything. But it's also good to talk about memories and things we used to do and stuff, places we went. That's also good to remember and sort of be happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, you can only imagine the good times and remember all the stuff that you used to do
Yeah.
with your dad, and again, I can't even imagine how it must have felt. But you mentioned obviously playing football with your younger brother and doing different things, and you said sort of doing activities and stuff. And what kind of things sort of like helped you with it? Was sport one of the main things, or was it anything like else? Just, I don't know, cinema, just doing different things to try and take your mind off it.
Yeah, it's hard to remember back to the time it happened,
Mm.
uh, and sort of the stuff we did around Christmas. And it took a while to sort of do stuff. It was hard to get motivated to sort of do things. It was a lot. There was a lot of days indoors and like I took quite a long time off school
Yeah.
because I couldn't really face that sort of task yet.
No, of course, that's
And
completely understandable. I mean, not many people have gone through what you've gone through, and to go through what you did is one of the tragic things, sadly, that some people do have to face. And obviously, everyone at Exeter City is obviously here to support you. That's why we're doing this, and we want to sort of show people that what people have to go through and how we can help and go like talk about your story so that other people don't face it alone. And obviously, you spoke about there about talking about it and trying to do things to take your mind off it. Is what would you like advice you'd give to other people that have perhaps possibly about to go through something that you've gone through or will experience an unexpected, like you just don't know, do you? So what would you sort of say to those people?
I'd say don't rush into things,
Mhm.
into doing things that you might not feels right for you yet. But like was offered counselling for it, and I did one session, and I hated it.
Yeah.
It didn't help at all. So I thought, what's the point in trying to do this? So I kind of did my own thing for a bit and sort of tried to handle it myself, and I did quite well. But like talking to my family and my friends as well, my friends knew what I was going through and helped me out a lot at the time. Um, and then eventually, when I got back to school, teachers supported me, and they even started that it wasn't a thing uh, before this, but when they found out about it, they started a counselling group at
All
school
right. Okay.
for other people that may have lost someone or like even a pet or something. It was a group to go to talk about how you feel and losing someone or something. And yeah, it was I'm gone blank.
No, that's okay. Like, just from me there, like, just the support from your family and your friends, even
Yeah,
your teachers getting involved, but you saying that counselling wasn't for you, counselling might help other people. It's one of those where you have to almost find. A, sorry,
yeah.
Sorry.
that's all right. No worries, mum. It's okay. No, I was just saying that obviously counselling isn't for you, but it might be for some other people, and it's finding what helps you best. Obviously, I've never gone through what you've gone through, and I'm really sorry for your loss and all that, but I can't imagine how I'd even cope with it right now. I don't know if I'd speak to people, I don't know, but listening to you, I'd want to speak to someone about it. I'd want
Yeah,
to, I want to say, speak to my coaches, speak to my friends at home, um, and you just saying there, just being in your own self, you trying to cope with it on your own, it helped you for a little while, but long term, it wasn't productive. And
yeah,
obviously,
definitely.
you saying that that speaking to people is probably one of the best ways of starting, almost getting back to normality in a way and trying to get back on the right track. And you saying starting back at school with the counselling group and speaking to them, but obviously, did they find it tough to almost join the group, or was it quite, once it got sort of new members, it was quite easy to sort of start the conversation flowing, and was it quite sort of tough for the first couple of like sort of sessions?
Um, it was definitely a bit. There was a bit of awkwardness because
Mm.
it wasn't like a one to one that I had before that I had a one to one, and I didn't really think it would benefit me. And then I went to this, and it was good to hear other people's stories. That was probably the good thing, was that you got to hear what other people have been through, and knowing that you're not alone in that sense. Like you can talk to people who have similar experiences, or it might be completely different, and you can sort of just have a chat. And it was good for the time we did it.
Mm.
Um, and then I eventually started to feel a bit better. Then decided I'll try without it. And it went quite well. There, I still definitely wasn't quite right.
Yeah,
For that whole school year, I wasn't quite right. Learning was difficult.
I can
Like,
imagine. Yeah,
yeah, when your mind drifts in lessons, because lessons can get a bit boring.
we've all
Or
been there. We've all
yeah,
been there. Trust me, I know what you're talking about with lessons drifting.
yeah. And when you've got bad thoughts in your head, it's not nice. Um, and you just want to talk about it. or sometimes you feel like you can sort of keep it in, but it's always better to get it out. That's what I kept saying to myself, and thinking I just need to talk to someone and get my feelings out, and it really helped.
Yeah, I mean, you saying there, knowing in yourself that it wasn't healthy for you, and you need to speak to someone is a great step. And I think one of the things that we obviously want to promote with the World Mental Health Day is what kind of things would you like to see being introduced? What would you like to what would you would you have wanted to have at the time, and what would you hope to sort of people can have in the future, kind of support wise?
Um, well, I definitely think taking it slowly and doing things how you want it to be is the right way to do it. Don't like rush into anything or stuff like that. But eventually, when you feel ready, getting maybe a counselor, or maybe even like someone close to you, but you might not see all the time. Um, Talk to them, or just like maybe regular things, or not all the time, but it's always good to speak to someone,
Yeah,
and that's what I felt.
but you'd rather speak to someone that you know than someone that you don't know, for example.
Uh,
'Cause you said the counselling
yeah,
one-to-one didn't really work.
yeah, it's different for everyone.
Of course, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, of course, yeah.
People might feel different. They might want to talk to a stranger, um, who they can just let out anything and they won't judge you or anything. Or you might want to talk to someone close to you who might be going through something similar with you. There's lots of different ways of going about things.
Yeah, I mean that's I hadn't even thought of that, to be fair. You said there, speaking to someone that you don't know, you almost have no, you don't need to say sort of try and be strong for them, keep it bottled up for yourself and try and help them through it. You can literally just release it, or you can speak to a family member where they know how you're feeling, you know how they're feeling, and you can just sort of speak about it together with sort of no judgment at all, which is how obviously you managed to cope with it. And yeah, it was, I mean, it's tough for me to almost speak to you because I'm feel so sorry for you. I can't even imagine how you're feeling. So yeah, I think when fans are back, I think we should try and sort out some tickets for you and your family to come down and experience a day at the park, and hopefully we can get that sorted soon when everything comes back in. Now, Scott will have
Yeah,
to sort that.
We can sort that out, yeah. We'll
Yeah,
do it
hopefully we can.
today.
it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a
It's
long
been,
time, and we can sort you out with some tickets. So I'm sure we'll get all that sorted. And but yeah, thank you for your time and speaking about it, because obviously it can't have been easy, and we appreciate it a lot.
yeah, I want to like help other people
Of
with
course,
it,
yeah,
because I I thought I handled it quite well.
Mm.
Um, Recently, I did feel, I started to feel a lot worse. Like it was sort of a delay for me.
hmm
I was it took me a while to process it, and I didn't have counselling straight away. But then it was almost took about a year or two to it kind of got to me a bit, especially growing up as well, going through
yeah,
teenage years. Um, I got I started counselling, I think in January, um, just because I started to just notice I was feeling a bit lonely and sad and not really wanting to do much.
yeah,
So I had a counsellor at school that I saw once a week, and that really helped. That like so this was one to one. So it's strange how when it happened, I didn't think that counselling was good for me, but now, in January, it really helped a lot to talk to someone that doesn't know me, um, and won't judge me, and just to talk to them about how I was feeling. And I did that. up until the lockdown, and then I didn't have it for a while. And then one of my teachers contacted me and asked me if I wanted to do it through Zoom.
Mhm.
And I was happy to do that. And then I started to just feel a lot better. Lockdown was almost a gift for me. It was sort of time away from life,
Yeah.
and time to myself to think about things. Um, and I know it must have been hard for a lot of other people. Everyone's had a different experience, but I can say that it was sort of a good thing for me, to have that time away from life. And then I decided I didn't need counselling anymore because I was feeling good. It's probably the best I've felt in a long time.
That's good.
And
I'm happy for you, obviously. And
yeah, and now a lot over the summer and stuff, I was it was definitely the best I've been feeling. Like now, and the school starting, it's been good to get back to normal life and sort of feel happy about things.
you're doing your GCSEs this year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have.
What are your subjects?
Um, I'm doing PE,
Nice.
Spanish, geography, and business studies.
Ah, good selection. I did three of those. I did
Yeah,
PE, geography, and Spanish. Stupidly took French as well as Spanish. Thought I was a linguist. Definitely wasn't.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, no, it's good that you can obviously you got back and you're talking to sort of you're seeing your friends again because obviously it must have been a long time through lockdown and everything like that. So no, it's really good.